Well, I'm trying another experiment here. And another 8K experiment. Yeah, I know. Every time I think to myself, I'm not going to do that again, I think of it, maybe I'll try it a little bit differently. And there's only one plus side to doing it in 8K. And that is that anybody watching it in 8K is going to see it a little bit sharper. Now there's a way more against it than there is for it. Now, like I've mentioned, the only thing for it really is that it's going to be a little bit sharper for a very select few people. Even I can't watch it in 8K. I can video it and process it and upload it, and YouTube will send it back to me in 8K, but I only have a 4K monitor, so it sort of defeats the purpose. I'm just sort of messing around with this. It's almost like 5 years ago when I started videoing in 4K. Very few people at that time had 4K monitors. Now they're quite common. In fact, most cell phones will video in 4K. That is the high-end ones. So I think that 8K is coming. And when it does, I want to be ready and know how to do it, if I'm still interested in doing it at that time. I'm waiting now for the price of monitors to come down. Right now here in Canada, I think there's only one or maybe two monitors, computer monitors, that are available that actually produce 8K. There's lots of TVs, and the price on those is coming down. There's a lot of 8K TVs. I think Best Buy here in Winnipeg was selling one for under $2,000, and it was like a 65-inch. And it might be a lot cheaper where you live. I don't know. Anyway, and another downside is that my camera right now only videos at 8K 30 frames a second. 30 frames a second is the maximum it will do in 8K. So although my episode a couple of 3 days ago was 8K 60, the 8K that you were watching was really only 30. And what was happening was, yeah, you were seeing 60 frames a second, but what YouTube was doing was whenever there was any 8K videoed, it was showing every frame twice. And of course you couldn't tell the difference. But if you were watching in 1080 or 4K, you were seeing it in 60 frames a second. So yeah, there's a lot against it right now. Anyway, I'm going to see what I can do here yet this evening. What do we got here? 6:21. I'm gonna just see what I can do, and we'll nip off some little parts here, and I'll try and do it as sharp as I can. This video might be a little bit shorter than normal. In fact, it probably will. Now, the last episode was pretty short. I spent so much time making those little 20mm guns that yeah, I was busy having fun instead of videoing. So sorry about that. For those of you who like big long episodes, well, probably not going to happen again. Anyway, just let me recompose here, and we'll try and find some more of these parts. You'll notice that when I'm moving, that yes, it's going to be nice and sharp. At least it should be. But it's going to be a little bit more jerky because it's only 30 frames a second. Enough technobabble. Let's get on with it. Now the plan here, there's 6 of these needed. So I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be making one on camera, and then I'll do the other 5 later. Kind of like I did the last gun where we did the 13 later. I remember I was talking about where we had to cut a piece off right here. Well, it looks like it's about a little over maybe 2 millimeters off the end. At least they marked where it's supposed to be cut. It'd be interesting to know does the Nelson have this exact same piece? And you know, and yet on the Nelson you don't cut it off. So okay, and I've forgot to turn my clock off again. Okay, so we need G12 and G11, and I think that these are probably different enough that I don't need to worry about getting them mixed up, so I don't need to put them in separate tins. Okay, now numbers 25. And 26. Now I'm noticing that the barrel is open on the end there. That's kind of nice. Nice effect. Don't need to drill it out for those that are worried about detail. It's nice detail for plastic. Now this piece here, G15, I have no idea what it is. But I imagine that once we get it mounted, now I want to make sure I'm not cutting off a positioning pin. No, let's go right close to the sprue as I can there. Now you can see that there is some sort of detailing where the sprue connects that I nipped off. Like I nipped it off right there where the head of the pin is, and but the positioning pin that we're going to be using to mount it on that platform is this part right here, this square thing. So yeah, so I guess when I remove that flashing, if I don't want to lose that detail, it's right on the end there. Yeah, got to be pretty careful there. Okay, I think what I'm going to try to do here is clean these up off camera, because quite often when I try to do something like this on camera, especially on like this piece here on the end that has the detailing that I don't want to lose, usually I end up losing it. So yeah. Well, here's the plan. All the video you've seen up until right now, I just edited out. And what I'm going to do is this entire episode, what is it, 1098? Yeah. I'm going to upload it onto YouTube, but I'm not going to release it until YouTube has processed it into 8K. Hopefully it's going to appear before tomorrow night's episode, which is 1099. You know, that'll be the real thing, where I take and clunk the coffee cup down and we get back to normal. Anyway, I sure do hope that this will be ready before the next one. I mean, otherwise they're kind of out of order, right? Anyway, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you in the morning.